Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 97 of Like, Share, Follow. And on this episode, I'm so lucky to have Laura Pettigrew, who's a digital storyteller and communication manager at the Caloundra Chamber of Commerce. So welcome, Laura. Thanks for being on the show.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Karen, for having me. I'm super excited to be on.
Thanks. And so we were just discussing that you finished your degree in 2020. And so what have you been doing between then and now?
So I've been up to a fair bit. I was lucky enough to start a role in full-time journalism before I graduated uni. So I started at the Sunshine Coast Daily in my last year of university. There I worked in the weekly papers section, and I was in charge of the Nambour and Coolum weekly papers. So that was really exciting. I was in charge of pretty much everything from the design of the paper all the way through to the stories that were in the paper. So that was really cool. And then when COVID hit, and as I drew to a close on my university degree, I moved across into the daily news cycle at the Sunshine Coast Daily. And so there for the next 2 years, I pretty much covered pretty much every story you can think of, from breaking news to community journalism. And then I also, my predominant role was in court reporting. So I spent many days in court, and it was an extremely challenging but really exciting and rewarding role. I definitely found a love for court reporting. But in May last year, I did make the decision to try something new, and I moved to the Caloundra Chamber of Commerce. And as you said, I'm their digital storyteller and communications manager. So my role there is to advocate for the businesses on the Sunshine Coast, particularly in the Caloundra region, and also spread the messages of the chamber and really promote the positive work that they do there for the entire community.
And look, it looks like an amazing role there. Like I see you pop up on LinkedIn and you're going to great events. And I think I saw you in a plane or a helicopter the other day. Like,
yeah.
Every day.
It is a really exciting job. And I think, as a journalist, it can be difficult to make the switch from a journalism role to a communications role. And it was something I was really nervous about. But I am so glad I made the decision to give it a go. As you said, every day is different, and I'm constantly working with the amazing businesses on the Sunshine Coast, and some of whom you don't even know are in your backyard. So I've worked with pilots. We've worked with, I'm also in charge of the Caloundra tourism kind of brand at the moment. So we're working a lot with promoting Caloundra as a holiday destination, which means I get to do really exciting things like climbing the Glasshouse Mountains and going to lots of different restaurants and promoting all the things they do.
I was just thinking that you get to eat a lot of delicious food with that job.
yes, or film it. So sometimes I just have to smell it. So it was a lot of fun. And I'm really enjoying the role.
Excellent. And so I wanted to ask you as well. So what I'm noticing now when I'm lecturing with students, it's become quite a trend now that there are more students now who are working full-time and studying full-time as well. And so it's quite a workload. So how did you manage that? Because you did it in your final year. And your final year is very intense as well. So how did you manage full-time study and then full-time work?
Yeah, I think, time management is key. And if you are one of those students that are working full-time and doing university, while it's really difficult, the skills that you learn while doing that in terms of time management will help you so much in your future career. So for me, I just had to really focus on time management and scheduling everything. I'm a list person. I know not everyone is, but I would just make to-do lists of things that I had to do, and also make sure that I set a diary with pretty much everything in my day that I had to do. So I would make sure that I would schedule time with my family, relaxing, all of that, everything. So I think that really helped me. And throughout the day, I would just tick off those items. And once you get into a groove of it, you'll be surprised how much you can fit into one day.
Yeah, it's great advice. I'm a list person too.
Yeah, so handy.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm more effective when I've got multiple things on the go than just one. And so that's why I do that list.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah. And so coming back to your role at the Caloundra Chamber of Commerce, what do you think set you apart from other people going for that role?
I think particularly in journalism, having that experience in the industry was really something that I think was really beneficial to me. So being able to start work in the industry before I left uni really enabled me to grow a pretty good base of experience. University, obviously, degrees are so important, and they're very, very handy. But I think that, experience is just as important. So if you can manage, gaining as much experience as you can at uni while also gaining your degree, it does really set you apart from the rest, and it enables you to create a pretty good portfolio that when you go for jobs, you can be pretty confident that you're going to have a good base of experience behind you that will enable you to be confident in that role.
Yeah, and that's a common theme coming through this series as well. That having that practical experience, leaving uni with your degree and a solid bank of practical experience behind you is really what will set you apart.
Absolutely, yeah, I 100% agree, and I would encourage everyone to just try to get as much experience as you can.
Yeah, and so what has been some of the best career advice that you have been given?
Since starting my career, I think the most important thing I was told was, don't be scared to put yourself out there. Going as a uni student or as a fresh graduate, it can be really daunting going into the workforce. And I find that sometimes that self-doubt can creep in, and you can find yourself kind of limiting your, I guess, success really. And so I think if you can somehow let go of that fear and be willing to learn, be willing to make mistakes, and really put yourself out there, you'll find that those daily opportunities that come across your path, you'll really be able to grab those with both hands, and you'll see yourself succeed much quicker than you would if you can really just kind of let go of the fear and just go with the flow.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I think what I've learned over the years too around fear, like I still get scared doing things, and and people wouldn't think it because I seem like it doesn't, but I just more like acknowledging it, and it hasn't really gone away, but it's there, but just not letting that take over. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think, everyone has self-doubt. I think no matter what level you get to, sorry, it will be there. But I think, yeah, you're right. Acknowledging it and just trying to, let yourself, succeed regardless of that little bit of self-doubt you have is really important.
yeah. And look, now reflecting back on your time at university, what have been some of the skills and knowledge that you gained there that have really helped you when you've been out in the workforce?
Yeah, aside from, the practical skills and the social media knowledge and all of those things that you learn at uni, I think that best piece of advice or best thing that I learned was really in probably my first lecture, really. And it was, as I've said, put yourself out there and really go hard for your dreams, I guess. So if you want to end up in the media industry, find a job in the media industry. It really doesn't matter if you're sweeping the floors, getting coffee, anything like that. You'd be really surprised about what doors can open when you do that. So I think that was the best lesson I learned, and I'm pretty sure I heard it in one of my first lectures. So it's something that I've definitely held on to and continue to build on.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, what has been some skills and knowledge you wished you learned at university that you really needed, and then you had to actually learn them on the job because you didn't have them?
Yeah, for me, I think, crisis and conflict management is something that I think only experience can teach you. It's something that it can be hard to learn at uni, and no matter what industry you're in, whether you're in journalism, communications, or the social media field, there's always going to be challenges that arise in those areas. And for me, it was something that I struggled with at the start because, you don't want to make mistakes and you don't want to come across those hurdles, but it's bound to happen. Everyone comes up with those challenges. So for me, I think learning to have a calm, collected mindset when going into those sorts of challenges really helped me navigate my way through them. And it also ensured that I was able to come up with the best solution possible for all parties, and then you walk away much happier. Whereas if you do get stressed and you can't handle those situations very well, sometimes they can kind of roll in and get a little bit worse. So I think learning a calm, collected mind space in the face of a challenge is something that you learn.
Like responding, not reacting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just taking a breath and going, okay, what's the best way forward here, rather than just stressing out and going, oh gosh, kind of thing. So I think that's definitely something that can be difficult to learn in uni, but I think it's definitely an experience lesson to learn.
Yeah, that's great advice. And so now your role, you do a lot of social media now for
Yes. So basically my role is split straight down the middle. So I do social media for roughly 5 pages, and then also the communication side of things as well. So it can be busy, but it's really exciting. And this is kind of my first role that really focuses on social media. So I'm actually really enjoying kind of using the knowledge that I learned in uni, and also, I guess, improving that knowledge and those skills as well.
Excellent. And so because you're working with it day to day, you know how often it changes, like day to day.
Yes.
What's been something that you've learned in the last couple of weeks, or a tip, or just some piece of information you've learned about some aspect of social media that you'd like to share?
Yeah, for me, recently I've been diving into the world of ads, and it's definitely something that I haven't had an opportunity to learn about in my past roles. So yeah, I've been diving headfirst into research and chatting to people as much as I can, and in that process, I've discovered Google Tag Manager, which is it might not be groundbreaking for everyone, but I was really impressed with what it can offer. So basically, for those that don't know, it enables Facebook to refine its ads based on the activity on your website or your landing page. So for example, if I have clicked on your Facebook ad and I go through and go to the website, but I click out straight away, Google Tag Manager can tell Facebook that that's what you've done. And in the end, it'll save money on targeting me who may not be interested in that content. So alternatively, if I spent 2 minutes on the website, Google Tag Manager will tell Facebook she's the one to keep targeting. She's the best one to spend your money on. So I think that is really really important and really something that I will definitely be implementing into my campaigns.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's interesting how they work together, and it'll be interesting to see, because I know I think things changed slightly with the sort of the Apple update a few updates ago, with when you could turn off that tracking as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold in that space, and how, because we had it really good for a really long time, just to see how it all changes. Hopefully not too much.
Well, as I said, I'm such a new to the Facebook ads area, so I'm definitely, if anyone has any tips for me, I'm definitely all ears, because it's such a tricky space, and obviously, as you said, social media changes daily. So it's definitely challenging, but also really rewarding to keep learning about.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now, looking at what you've learned along the way, so there are students who are emerging professionals about to graduate next month in the ceremonies, or they're in their final year, or even in the middle of their degree. What advice would you give to them to have a successful career?
To be honest, I think my piece of advice, and this would apply for those that are coming to the end of their degree as well, and mostly for those that are probably in the middle of their degree. And for me, I would really encourage them to make the most of the time that you have at uni. The teaching staff at USC is pretty incredible, and the wealth of knowledge that they have is incredible, really. And I think so making relationships with those teachers or lecturers and tutors, and getting as much information as you can from them has really helped me kind of as I progress through my career. That most of the tutors and the lecturers are working in, if not have worked in, the industries that they're teaching. So the information they can give you and the support they can give you is second to none, really. And I've definitely, even in my career now, I still contact my lecturers and chat to them about challenges that I face in my daily career. And they're so passionate about making sure that students succeed that you would be surprised how willing they are to help out.
Yeah, that's good advice, because I think sometimes there's this sort of, I don't know, like some students don't like to do that. They don't want to feel like they're sort of sucking up, but it's not that we don't, like, the thing is we can't help you if we don't know you. So if we know you, and also if we know that you're looking for a particular role in a particular industry, like we get approached all the time by people wanting to hire students, and if we don't know this, we can't connect you. So
yeah, exactly. And I have a perfect example of that. One of my lecturers was looking for someone to help out in a role at CFM and Mngr FM recently, and I was just chatting to her, just seeing how everything was going, and in the end, I was able to gain a role of part-time, fill-in basis, I should say, of a broadcast journalist on Mngr FM and CFM. So whenever someone's away or anything like that, I'm able to jump on. And they're the sort of opportunities that, if you put yourself out there, as I said earlier, and connect with your lecturers and tutors, they are really, a huge help. And I would encourage everyone to do that.
Excellent. So yeah, that's great advice. And so the final question of our interview, and the most important question of the whole show, is the title of the show. Who do you like, share, and follow?
At the moment, it's kind of going in the same theme as my Facebook ads endeavor. So at the moment, I'm really enjoying the content shared by Shakira Park, who is she's actually a local marketing strategist and mentor, and she specializes in meta ads. The content she posts is super, super helpful, and she has lots of tips and hacks on how to improve your campaigns. So I have really been enjoying her content, and I definitely like share and follow.
Excellent. So maybe you could actually tag Shakira in the bottom of this post, so then other people can follow her too, like afterwards.
Absolutely. So I will 100% do that.
That would be great. And so thank you so much. Do you have, we're sort of wrapping up the interview now, so do you have any final words of wisdom to share?
To be honest, I would say to everyone, the workforce and heading into the workforce and uni can be a stressful time. It can be, it's a serious time. So, you're setting up your future career. But I would encourage everyone to have fun with it. It's amazing how your mindset can, lead the way for new opportunities. And I think that personally, I do find that sometimes I get caught up in the stress of work and the stress of your career. It can be quite a daunting prospect. But I think really bringing it back to just have fun, and you'll be surprised where it leads you.
Excellent knowledge bomb there to finish on. Thank you so much, Laura. And so on the next episode, which will be episode 98, I'm still lining up a guest, but we have 3 spaces left before the end of this show. So if you studied social media at UniSC, have graduated, and would like to be one of the very final guests on Like, Share, Follow, please contact me. So thank you so much, Laura, and for all your time and wisdom.
Thank you so much, Karen. I've really enjoyed being on, and I hope that it helped anyone going into the workforce or anyone at uni. So best of luck to everyone.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time, whenever that is, for episode 98.
Sounds great.
Thank